Zerglings into that location. He has Overlords there, so that position should be fairly safe. He's expanding very aggressively, though, and this is very much 815 style to just expand all over the base, try to get force all over the place. A lot of Corsairs in the air for Bisu, though, so he's probably collecting them, try to go for a break, try to just go and kill as many Ovis and just move in with his DT, sacrifice a few of his Corsairs to try to get for that break and just get inside and do a lot of economic damage. We're going to see he's now moving out with some of those Corsairs. They are going to get spotted by those Zerglings, so we're going to see what he goes for. He's apparently moving towards that lower left. There are 2 Overlords. I don't see any Hydralisk. I don't see any Corsair Scourge there either. I don't see air defense. I think he's putting up some air defenses there now. For his sake, I hope that's a Spore Colony coming in. Dark Templar's now going to come in. The Corsairs again as well. They're going to be able to snipe that over. Going for it. They're going to be able to attack. But one Overlord already goes down. The second Overlord is also going to go down. The DTs are going to be able to move in right away, and they're going to be able to do a lot of damage. Both Overlords have been taken down now. The Zerglings and the Sunken, nothing but except nothing else there. The T is not quite moving. The Workers as well moving into defend for 815 as well. Some drones, and Bisu meanwhile is going to focus on these drones. They're going to be running by. Oh, some of them are going to get taken down. Don't know why Bisu doesn't go for the break though, because I don't see any Overlords there. I don't know if he has any spot, and there could have been a Spore Colony that he put down to spot for him, so that could have saved 815 a dead base. Meanwhile, on the other side, Bisu just running all over the place with Corsairs, killing so many Overlords. I think 815 has already lost like 4 or 5 Overlords during this entire game. So 815 has to be very careful here. He's not being allowed to go full macro, because every time you have to rebuild an Overlord, it's so much time you're losing. And minerals, of course, as well. Not even talking about that. Scourge out, gonna try to kill. Ooh, managing several Corsairs, but Bisu still keeping 5 of them alive. Running all over the place, still doing a pretty good job. Still just at his 3 bases, 2 gas bases, 1 mineral only, getting his robotics facility going. So I could be going for some drops. I don't think he's going to be switching tech at this point. Don't think he has quite enough for that, and he's not going to be allowed to break at this base here. And 815 adding even more extractors, so he's going to try to macro up as soon as possible, because if he does manage to get a bunch of macro going, does manage to produce units from all those hatcheries that he has up now, will help him out. Bisu now has weapons 1, so it's going to be a window here for Bisu. He's going to have to take advantage of this window. It's going to stay open only for a few more minutes. He's going to have to keep 815 inside of his base. He's going to have to keep him from building up a gigantic army. If he manages to do that, I think he'll be able to just push down into one of the expansions. Bisu also now has High Templar to help him out against those Hydralisks. So if Bisu manages to knock down the door just in time, he should be able to take this. Oh, High Templar! Oh, beautiful job spotting with those Corsairs and killing a crap load of drones, as well as expanding at this 3 o'clock. So 815 has his work cut out for him here.
Yeah, well, the problem was 815 got really offensive with his hatcheries, which is fine, but at the same time, you need to also be offensive in a way of playing some defensive offense, if that makes any sense. Basically, you need to play some offense that's going to make Bisu play a little bit of defense so that this doesn't happen. Now, Bisu dropping DTs all over the place, really punishing Overlords and drones. Oh my god, just slaughtering drones. He killed every drone at the 2nd expansion. He killed every drone at the natural expansion, just about. Only a few remaining. He killed quite a few at the DTs, and now he's just ravaging this huge economic buildup that 815 was trying to get the entire game is now just slaughtered. And this is what I was talking about, is 815 doesn't want to draw a game out like this with Bisu, because Bisu is known for this, and you don't want to mess with Bisu when it comes to this type of a game. You really need to make Bisu play on the defensive, so if you're going to play this type of style. That would just be my own personal opinion in terms of how this matchup works. I'd say 815 is now worlds behind Bisu, as Bisu's already taken his 4th, and we all know that when Zerg and Protoss are on equal amount of bases, it is no good at all. And that's exactly what's happening. And now Bisu trying to get another drop off, and the shuttle goes down, but he does get some good storms off on some of those drones and a couple Hydralisks. Not a ton of damage, but still, the more the merrier for Bisu. And really, I think Bisu's probably going to mop this game up soon here, move his whole main army down, and just roll over 815. I think at this point, 815 is feeling pretty diminished, as he's lost just about every single drone. He's had to rebuild those, and instead of rebuilding a larger army, which Bisu's been focusing on the entire game. And I can't see the upgrades because the VOD is a little bit blurry, but I would expect that Bisu's on about, it looked like +1, maybe +2, I can't see at this point. pretty similar to 815, and now Bisu is just going to run into the main, knows he has plenty of units, storming in the front, moving his zealots up, and there's just not enough to handle this at all. I think one of the observers went down, but the second lives just in time to take out the final lurker, and this is 815 just got steamrolled, man. I mean, there's not really anything else to say. This was a complete and utter steamroll. This wasn't, I mean, I was wishing that 815 would give a better game, but Bisu just absolutely slaughtered this kid, and this is why Bisu is known as one of the best PvZ players, if not the best ZVP, and a lot of people would say he is the best, and this is why. I mean, he's just absolutely steamrolling a very, very high-class Zerg that's up and coming, and really, I mean, nothing else to say. This game is over. It's just let them play it out and let 815 realize he's completely dead, and then we'll get the GG and then we'll move on to the next game. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say, man.
Yeah, just 815 just delaying, just putting down a bunch of Sunkens all over the place, trying to stay alive. This is what I do when I know I've lost. Just, stay alive as long as I can and fight to the death, blah. Now putting off a bunch of drones as well to go engage. 815 knows he's lost. He just doesn't want to disappoint his team. He knows he has. He knows he's now forced the team to go one behind, and just what are you going to do? Bisu moving out with a crap load of speed seals. GG finally. So SKT1 takes the first set against KTF, and they're one game ahead, and we're going to have the second game soon, which hopefully Kenny will join me for. So Kenny, thanks for joining me here, and let's move on to the second game. Ranching out.